In this video, I just want to look at a few basics regarding the parameters of methods. The first method we have here is a method that simply prints a report, and it takes as input a person's name, the person's age, and the person's wage. So it's three input parameters or default parameters, and it prints name, age, and wage. So where the method is called from the main method, the important thing to note is that the parameters do not need to have the same names. So you're sending name, age, and wage to print reports, but inside print reports it's called N, A, and W. That is not a problem. The only important thing is the first one must map onto the first, and the second onto the second, and the third onto the third. So where name is a string, N must be a string. Where age is an int, A must be an int, and where wage is a double, W must be a double. So John 23 and 270 goes through to print report, and N, A, and W takes on the values John 23 and 270. Notice what happens when we swap age and name around, where we call print report. Now we've got an int, then a string, then a double. But it's trying to map onto a string, an int, and a double, and clearly the first two are not compatible. So this will not compile. The next little method I'm looking at is a method that takes in two integers, a and b, and returns their sum and their product. So the first two parameters are default, and the third and the fourth are out parameters. I'm just focusing on the syntax of where you call the method and where the method is declared regarding parameters. Notice where you call the method, you do not give the data types. So it's simply a, b, out sum, out product. But where you declare the method inside the method's own heading, you need to say int a, int b, out int sum, and out int product. But also notice that out needs to be on both sides. So the word out is where you call it as well as where it's declared. Interesting to note is that because A and B are default or in parameters, where we call getSumProduct, we can simply put two constants there, like 5 and 7. And it simply maps the 5 and the 7 onto A and B. So because they are default parameters, we are allowed to do that. Just to show the result of this method, you send through 5 and 7 as constants, and sum comes back as 12, and product comes back as 35. So when you do the right line sum, you'll display 12, and when you do the right line product, you'll display 35. Notice what I'm trying to do here now. I'm trying to send in two constants in the third and the fourth position of the parameters. But now, because sum and product are out parameters, we need to have values coming out of those parameters. We cannot send through constants to out parameters. Constants can only be sent to default parameters, like A and B in this case.